Just a note that in the background of this video is a bootleg version of the Massacre that I made just to express what the level will be like. What is the Massacre? The Massacre was originally started by Ella Anubis back in 2.0, originally known as Artificial Ascent. The level didn't meet his standards, so I've taken it upon myself to try again, ensuring that the level meets his expectations. The link to his video will be in the description, titled Artificial Ascent, the best Cataclysm remake, along with the server that the megacollab is hosted in. Go ahead, pause the video, and watch that video. Return here when you're done. Okay, so the difference between what he was explaining and what the level is that instead of electric blue, it's certain shades of red and rust, mainly saturated, to best represent the eerie theme. To continue, it is no longer a Cataclysm remake, as remakes suck in general and there is no point to their existence. This level takes no inspiration from Cataclysm. We also have to upgrade the story 1,000-fold, and the song is no longer Surface, it's Enigma by Creo due to its incredible atmosphere and intense factory feelish drop. That is the song that is currently playing in the background. The level is a heart demon, expected to begin and finish in 2.2, over a couple of years. The style is thematics and art, themed around an abandoned mechanical factory, hell-bent on ending your existence. The standards are high. The collab is hosted by Team Iris. The decorators at this time are Golden Era, myself, Lacho, Fropu, Zonix, Archer Boy, Diamond Frep, The Real Ben Gam. But this is unfinished, and we're still looking for more decorators to fill spots, as well as replace spots if needed. Why will the Massacre be so good? Quality of the level, for the most part these days, is defined by decoration. If the level has phenomenal decoration, it is widely considered a great level. This is what popular teams like APT excel at. But in order for the community to move on, we need to think more broadly. From this idea, ladies and gentlemen, sparks the Massacre. As well as having top tier deco, the Massacre will also focus on every other element just as much. The gameplay has been and will be tested by the many members of Team Iris. The decoration is high standards, and everyone in the collab is capable of epic-worthy designs. The theme will be on point due to the effort I've been putting in to share to my decorators everything that I want this level to be. The optimization will be a key factor. No more than 20,000 objects per part will be in the complete level, no matter how much we need to optimize. And the story will push Geometry Dash lore to its limits. Now we get into the story. Part 1 begins with no movement and very little visibility surrounding the player besides their flashlight. Silhouettes and dark machines lurk in both the foreground and background. Flickers of light come from certain buttons and pipes in the machines scattered around the part. The gameplay is cube primarily, but I might add some other elements. The story. You happen across the factory as if it's the level in the backrooms. The door shuts and locks before you can leave. Immediately, you notice how dark it is. Flickers of light and movement are spotted out of the corner of your eyes, but you're unable to catch it, and you decide you are playing tricks on yourself. You make your way through the corridor, avoiding objects and careful not to make a noise, fearful of what lurks in the shadows. Part 2. The part is brighter now, with slow movements and pulses of electricity. Everything begins to come alive. The gameplay is a mix of spider, cube, robot, and UFO, and you begin to travel up and down throughout the factory. The story. You stumble backwards into a control panel, instantly waking the machines and robotics around you. In the light coming from different panels, pipes, and wires, you can make out the sheer terror these machines give. They seem to be made solely to kill. Part 3. A slow ship, changing from mini to regular. You continue to explore the factory of its maze, with different paths. Part style remains the same generally. Story. You investigate and explore around the different robots and structures, taking in its sheer fear and lust for blood. You remain slow, attempting to be casual to avert the attention of the machines. Part 4. The robots are at full power now, moving sharply inwards and closing in on you. The speed is still slow, and you are only a cube. Text appears from an unknown place. The story. The souls that have died here speak to you as you desperately try to flee the place in hopes of an exit. They speak for every single music beat. To you who has ventured into our lair, welcome to your final resting place. As the final clock is winding down, absolute chaos will arise. As the machines take your soul, remember to glance at your past. Everything you've built up will vanish. The massacre begins. Parts 5 and 6. Now you are at the drop. You are running for your life, avoiding the saws and weapons of the machines. Everything is bouncing and moving, and the main game mode is ship and wave, with some others thrown in. Story. Now the machines are willing to take your life. They're doing everything in their power to eradicate you from your misery. Every split second may be your last. Death was never so near. Parts 7 and 8. Now you begin to fight the robots with different gimmicks and strikes. Everything else remains. Story. Running is no longer an option. At this point, all you can do is battle for every nearing breath. With luck, you are able to continue surviving, finding different ways to take on the invincible bots. Parts 9 and 10. Gameplay is similar to 5 and 6. At the very end of the level, the last jump, a random trigger will decide on your fate. 9 times out of 10, the machine that has been chasing you throughout Part 10 will launch its final strike, taking you down. The end screen for this is your cube's ghost traveling throughout the dark factory amongst the other victims. 1 time out of 10, you dodge the final strike, and successfully jump out of the factory. The end screen for this is the city skyline at night, with shadows of the machines lurking through the windows and towers. Just a note that even if you die in the lore, you're not dead inside the game, it's just a part of the story. The robots are now at their highest invincibility, making fighting no longer an option. The exit is in the distance, a broken window next to a skeleton of a human that was so incredibly close to escaping. Desperately, you launch yourself out of the window, and back into the cold night as if nothing happened. The only evidence is your wounds and the PTSD from the experience that you wouldn't dare tell a soul.